There was a naked, this always gets me. There was a naked woman came out and planted herself with her legs spread in front of the police. What this is supposed to mean, don't ask me. I'm the wrong person to ask because I have no idea. Here's the LA Times covering this, all right? A woman wearing nothing but a black face mask and a stocking cap strode. That's always a big, whenever somebody strides in a news story, you know that they're supporting that person. Strode toward a dozen heavily armed agents attired in camouflage fatigues lined up across a downtown Portland street. The agents dispatched by the Trump administration over vociferous objections of state and city officials are part of a force that has fired projectiles at and detained activists. They're not rioters, they're not looters. They are looters and they are rioters, but never mind, they're activists. That's been going on since the killing of George Floyd by Minneapolis police May 25th. Numerous photos and videos posted on Twitter show the unidentified woman as she halted in the middle of the street. She stood I mean, somebody actually sat down and wrote this. She stood calmly, a surreal image of human vulnerability in the face of an overpowering force that has been criticized nationally by civil rights advocates. Talk about begging the question. Are they civil rights advocates or are they anti-American leftists trying to destroy the country? I'm taking B. I love this. Nudity, this is still the same article. Nudity has also served as a form of protest since at least the 11th century, when legend holds that Lady Godiva rode naked, veiled only by her long hair to protest what? Oppressive taxation. So Lady Godiva was a Tea Partier. So, you know, this is happening all around the country. Chicago, they were throwing things at police officers to pull down a Columbus statue. Black Lives Matter protesters looted an Amazon store in Seattle, which is hilarious. I mean, Amazon has done nothing but push this crap Black Lives Matter stuff at me. You know, a guy who reads like romantic poetry in 18th century history, and they're pushing this. But, well, if you're interested in the poetry of John Clare, you might be interested in white fragility. Well, no, I'm not. And it's supposed to be my page serving me as their customer. But they're pushing this stuff, so they went in and looted them. Good. I'm glad. I hope they loot the entire company. You know, I mean, really, what are you supporting? Why are you supporting the mob? Here's the pictures. You can see it. I mean, it is just unbelievable. And now they talk about defunding the police. Let's just pause for a minute. You know, when somebody actually, you know, here's Keith Ellison. Keith Ellison is the Attorney General in Minnesota, right, where a lot of this violence, I mean, Minneapolis has been destroyed. Here he is talking about what should happen to rape victims. They don't need no stinking cops.
If you're a woman who's been a victim of a sexual assault and the assailant ran away, wouldn't you rather talk to somebody who is trained in helping you deal with what you're dealing with, as opposed to somebody whose main training is that they know how to use a firearm?
One of their main training is they also know how to use, Keith, a rape kit and gather clues about what's going on. The police are trained in dealing with this so they can catch the rapist, because, you know, the thing about the rapist is he's going off to rape somebody else. You know, I mean, this is the thing. This is the kind of nonsense that the Democrat Party is talking about. This is an empty party. This is a part, you know, when we talk about the end of the Republicans, and I do believe the Republicans are finished. I believe that, you know, there is now going to be a Trumpian Republican Party or no Republican Party. This is an amazing thing. So many of my anti-Trump friends on the right are saying once Trump is gone, man, the Republicans will be able to come back and reestablish their creds. And they, you know, that's why all the, you know, never Trump sites are called things like the Rampart and, you know, the Remnant. They think they're defending a remnant of something that's going to come back and reestablish the good of conservative governance, which wasn't taking place. I mean, before we had 8 years of Obama undermining our relationships with our allies, establishing relationships with the terrorist state of Iran, before we had the Obama administration ceding an area the size of Ohio to ISIS, before we had the Barack Obama administration basically undermining our police, encouraging with the kinds of things they said, encouraging this sort of violence against police that we saw in Dallas and New York. Before we had that, we had the George W. Bush administration. And listen, I thought George W. Bush was a nice guy, and I supported him against the people who were against him because I thought they were against America, which obviously we now see I was right about that. But he did get us involved in wars that he didn't know how to win or how to pay for. If he had known those things, I would have completely supported him, but he didn't. He got us into wars that went on and that are not paid for, and that ultimately couldn't be won on the terms that George W. Bush himself set. So we've had 16 years of bad governance. Trump is a better president than both those guys. He is a better president than both those guys. That's the thing. We're seeing that, but we're also seeing the end of the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party is now exposed for what it is. It is not an American party. It is not even a political party. It is a criminal enterprise that is against the Constitution, that wants power for itself above all others. And these are the things that are coming to an end. We have to make sure that what's beginning is a lot better than that.